Imagine, if you will, a 50-foot catch, a 50-foot sailing catch. I'm the captain, and I'm on my way to Mexico. Now, imagine, if you will, Jimmy Buffett as the first mate, Dr. Wayne Dyer as the cook, Ernest Hemingway as the navigator, and Jack London as the helmsman. And you'll get some idea about who was banging around in my head during this adventure. And each one of them has their point of view expressed in this story. I'd like to tell you about my first book, Mañana Doesn't Mean Tomorrow. It's a true life land and sailing adventure in Mexico that reads like fiction and is written in the spirit of a very Buffettesque adventure, celebrating life and Mexico in all of its love, lust, pain, glory, challenges, and happiness. And, according to many, is a damn fine read. But let's back up a bit. I was born into a family of adventurers. My dad flew the hump in Burma as a troop transport pilot, flew with the Flying Tiger Airlines, had his own private airplane, and went on African safaris. His father, my grandfather, flew the first airmail from Auburn to Sacramento, California, back in the days when airplanes had wooden propellers. And he was drawn to the far reaches of the planet. Acapulco, Singapore, Shanghai, Papeete, the Amazon, Kenya. He was a man of the world. I'm a third-generation wanderlust guy, obtaining my real estate broker's license when I was 21, being a pilot at 22, while learning how to sail on San Francisco Bay on big blue water cruisers. I too, during that time, was drawn to the far reaches of the planet, like Papeete, Shanghai, Chichen Itza, Uxmal, Cancun, Puerto Vallarta, and of course, Mazatlan, Mexico. While visiting Mazatlan, I fully succumbed to the spell of Mexico, met a couple of brothers who promised me political connections and boat permission if I were to bring the sailing catch to Mazatlan and get in the charter business. Armed with this new energy and hope of partners and permiso, I determined to buy an outfit and bring to Mexico a sailing vessel and bring it to Mazatlan and do sailing charters in what Jimmy Buffett would say, or what Jimmy Buffett would call, Jimmy, of course, always tempting me with his lyrics and his stories, Margaritaville. Struggling with my need for a different kind of adventure, I sacrificed hearth and home at the altar of this Mexican midlife crisis. Taking my guile and wits, the only thing I had left after that sacrifice, I parlayed that into a beautiful veteran 50-foot catch that after many months of working on it and living aboard possessed the style, heart, lines, and integrity to sail to Mexico and entertain tourists on a starboard tack to Isla Venedos. I sailed my dream underneath the San Francisco Golden Gate Bridge and made a hard left bound for Mexico. Anchored in the Mexican harbor of Mazatlan, my two partners, one of whom owned a ragtag flota sport fishing fleet, waved their arms with promises of permiso, temporary permission, and that I should go out and get on my job of finding tourists to take sailing. No problema, amigo, was a phrase I heard often. Sailing charters didn't last long when I was busted by the federales one night, almost thrown in jail, almost deported, and almost lost my boat to customs. My partners hadn't quite procured the permiso that they had promised. My time in Mazatlan was occupied by occasional sailing charters, days and days on the beach, ongoing attempts to secure permiso, and eking out a meager existence by doing the occasional illegal charter and taking illegal jeep tours with tourists to places like Mariscos Chamichin, Cafe Pacifico, and the Dragon Rojo, a combination whorehouse and disco. See Chapter 15 for stories from that. 3 years living in Mexico, struggling, trying to live the dream. Love, lust, joy, heartache. All that adventure lives on in my book, Mañana Doesn't Mean Tomorrow. You can buy the book on Kindle at Amazon or in trade paperback at the website or directly from me at the links below. Hasta luego, amigos. Fins up. fair winds.